Hey vinyl community, welcome back to my channel. I think it's about 2 years, maybe 3 years ago since I did an update on my FTD vinyl collection, and many have been released since then. Many have found their way in my collection since then. So I thought it would be about time to do another update on the FTD vinyl collection. I started collecting these wonderful records with the release of Elvis's Back. When that came out, it caught my attention. It looked so stunning and beautiful, and the whole final product, the sleeves are very glossy, glossy inner sleeves, 180 gram vinyl with very, very good sounding. So when I bought that a couple of years ago, I was like, this is fantastic, and so I started buying these FTDs on a regular basis ever since then. And in the beginning I also skipped a couple of records which I was thinking were not really that interesting. Think about like soundtracks, Stay Away Joe, Floppy Movie. I didn't necessarily need to have a soundtrack FTD double disc record of that also. But a lot of these records, at a certain point, they are sold out and the prices go up pretty much. And so I was thinking at a certain point, if you want to continue, collecting these records, then you should have them all. You should have them all in your collection because there will be a point where I'm going to regret I didn't buy it, because again, like I said, when they sold out, they're gone. And FTD made it very clear that these releases are very limited and one time only. So once they're gone, they're gone. So up to this point, they have released 27 records, and 26 of them have found their way in my collection. I'm only one record left from having them all, and that's the very first they released in 2009, which is Blue Hawaii. That's the only one missing in my collection at this point. So you see, there you go. It's really annoying that's not here because it's not complete. But then again, probably I will bump into it anyway one day, and hopefully I will be able to get it for a reasonable price. So let us go. I'm just going to show you all the records. I'm not going to show the insides, and I'm not going to tell you too much about it, because if there is any record you see you would like to have some more info on, you want to have a view on the inside, just request it in the comment below, and then I will be happy to show you or do a highlight video on that particular record. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to show you them in order of release, and the first one, which was released 2009, was Blue Hawaii. And again, I don't have it, but let's get over it. So here's the second one they released. It's a very, very beautiful record. It's one of my favorites also. This is Standing Room Only. And then they came up with the Jungle Room Sessions. The Jungle Room Sessions, pretty hot item these days, because next month they're going to release, RCA is going to release another Legacy edition, and that's going to be focusing on the Jungle Room Sessions also, and that record is going to be way down in or from the Jungle Room. So that's one to look out for. But this is the FTD version of it. Actually, the Jungle Room Sessions is by far one of the most popular releases of the FTD label. Then they came up with Jailhouse Rock. It's soundtrack to the movie, of course, with loads of outtakes. You see, most of these records, they consist of outtakes from the particular record. So like this one, for example, Good Times, the outtakes. It's 2 discs of outtakes. So it's more like a view behind the scenes of how the records came to be. And also, for the vinyl editions of these records, FTD chose to do alternate cover art also. The point is, most of us Elvis Presley fans already have the original records, so there is no need for having that same record again and again and again. So it's pretty nice what they did by coming up with these alternate covers and then with alternate takes on the song. So you basically have the original record and then you have the behind the scenes records, and that's pretty much, you know, pretty cool that they did that. By the way, on the CD releases of these same records, they do use the original artwork, but they also contain the original album, and then as an extra they have the alternate takes. But the record, most of the records, not all of them, but most of them only contains outtakes. So the next one they come up with is Viva Las Vegas. Also, this is one of the records which have all the masters of the songs, and then on the second disc the outtakes. But that's the one. Okay. The next one is the gospel album. This is How Great Thou Art. This is also containing the complete album on disc 1, and on disc 2 it will have the outtakes. Right, it's a beautiful one. Actually, it also has Crying in the Chapel, and everybody knows that Crying in the Chapel was recorded earlier on the His Hand in Mine sessions. So it only has the master of that song on this one. The next one is Potluck Sessions. Also a very nice record. You know, in the early 60s, Elvis Presley sounded great. Before he went into those ridiculous soundtracks, he actually he sounded very good. I don't care too much about most of the soundtracks. You know, there are a couple of songs I do like, but you can really hear that Elvis was not really motivated when doing all these silly songs, you know. But that Potluck Session, that's something that's really good. This is also a great one. This is Guitar Man. Elvis Sings Guitar Man. This is an album that should have been but never was. Songs he recorded between 1966 and 1968, which could have been a complete album, but instead of that, those songs disappeared on B-sides of singles, some of them A-side of singles, or as extra bonus tracks on soundtrack albums, and sometimes on cheap budget albums. But if you put all those songs together, it would made of a big Elvis Presley record, a really good record. And that's what they did with Elvis Presley Sings Guitar Man. They did something similar a couple of years ago with the For the Asking album. I don't know if you remember that one, but that's also a very nice album. This one was the one that got me interested in the FTD releases. This is Elvis's Back. It's a beautiful picture, and everything in this package is just simply stunning. So this is the one that got me hooked. Then the next one is another of his gospel albums. This is his first gospel album. He did one before, you can see it here in the back, which is Peace in the Valley, but that was not a record, that was like an EP in the 50s. And the songs on that EP would also make their way on his first Christmas album. But this was his first full-length gospel album, and this edition of this is the original artwork also. And this edition will it contains all the original masters. So the first disc is the complete album, and then the second disc is all the outtakes. He sounds great on that one. He sounds absolutely fabulous. You know, when Elvis Presley did those gospel songs, he gave something extra. He gave his best, you know, and you can hear that in his vocals also. The next one was Promised Land, the companion album, outtakes from the Promised Land record. Then we go to That's the Way It Is, special edition. All different versions of the songs that ultimately made their way on the That's the Way It Is soundtrack record. You know, one of my favorites also. I think that That's the Way It Is an essential. If you are starting out an Elvis Presley collection, that's one of the records you should have in your collection. Just like this one, Elvis Country. Most of you remember the original with the baby picture of Elvis on the cover. For this edition of FTD, they choose another young Elvis Presley. This is stunning. This one is absolutely fantastic. Alright. But again, actually all the FTD records are fantastic. Alright. This is GI Blues soundtrack. Outtakes from the movie. Contains also a lot of the masters. Elvis at his peak in 1970, Elvis Presley Onstage. Alternate album, also different versions of songs that are also on the original. And the next one, recorded live on stage in Memphis. This is also, when this came out, it was actually the first time when the complete concert was released on a double disc record, because maybe you remember, or maybe you Elvis fans recognize that one. It used to be a single disc album with just a compilation of that concert. What they did for the original is they tried to focus on songs which were not released before on another live album. So songs like Suspicious Minds, for example, which he did all the time, they left it out. And but this one is the complete concert, and it's absolutely stunning. Also, it got also released by RCA for the Legacy Edition, and also got released by Music on Vinyl as a 4-disc concert release. But this is the FTD. This was the first one. When that one came out, I was so happy. I really waited for that one. This is from Elvis in Memphis, legendary album, and this is of course alternate takes on that. And this is actually part of a series of 3 records focusing on the Memphis recording sessions. This is the first one from Elvis in Memphis, and then the second one was Elvis back in Memphis. Right, that's this one. We're going to continue. Let me take a nip of my coffee. If you fall asleep, please take a coffee also. Elvis Presley, Stay Away Joe. I really waited a long time before I got this one. I really didn't care too much about this. I mean, a double disc focusing on Stay Away Joe, you know. But like I told you before, you know, at a certain point, I got thinking, you know, I want that complete collection. You know, I don't want to stay behind on that, and then regret it later on. So eventually, I bought it anyway. I bought this recently, not too long ago. This one is absolutely stunning. This is Hot August Night. This is, you know, you remember that record, which is, let me see, what's the name of that one? From Memphis to Vegas, and then the other side was From Vegas to Memphis, you know, and that ultimately would become Back in Memphis. But from Memphis to Vegas, it's a very nice live record, and a lot of the songs on that record came from this concert. So this is the complete concert, and you know, if you want to have an absolutely stunning Elvis Presley live performance, you should have this one. This is so energetic, you won't believe it. This is a really good album. Hot August Night. All right, so let us continue. This is Something for Everybody sessions, right? Focusing, of course, on the songs which appeared on Something for Everybody. And here is the third one from the Memphis sessions. This is from Elvis at American Sound Studio, which obviously is the studio where he recorded those legendary songs. Think about In the Ghetto, Suspicious Minds. Elvis Now and Again. It's a beautiful one also. Like I said before, they're all beautiful. Then here is a special one. This is called Moody Blue. This is also one of the records which fits together with the Jungle Room sessions. This is the first time that Follow the Dream label started to number the records, and it's hand numbered, and I got number 568. I don't know exactly how many they did, but it's limited. And also, this is the first one they did on a different vinyl. This is clear, as you can see here, it's clear vinyl. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. All right, the next one is called He Touched Me, the recording sessions. This is the third gospel album he did, and the final gospel album. This contains the outtakes. And then the last one, which was released recently, this is called King Creole. A couple of things also here is this is also one of the records which is numbered. The second one they did, which is numbered, I got 295. And also on clear white vinyl. And the other thing is, this is the first time actually they release a single disc instead of a double disc. So I don't. I hope that's not going to be a custom. I hope that the next one will be a double again. But nevertheless, it's a beautiful record, and that basically concludes the FTD collection. So again, this is my pride. This is the collection I really admire the most from all the records I have in my collection. And if you are an Elvis Presley collector or a big Elvis Presley fan and you want to collect the vinyl records, don't wait too long and start collecting these FTDs, because again, they are absolutely stunning and beautiful, and but they, you know, the prices are going to go up very soon and very fast. So make sure that you are when a new one is released, that to get it right away. Thank you for watching this one. It's a little bit lengthy. It's more lengthy than I intended it to be, but again, those are 26 records. Again, if you want me to shed a light on one of these records and show you some of the inside, I will do a highlight video on one of the records. Then just request it in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. I'm looking forward to watching your videos also, and I'll see you in the next one.